On.
So happy to be here with you to talk about meditations on our personal death awareness and curiosities and wonderings about completions and transitions. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I know you're not at home. I'm also not at home today. I'm in Park City, Utah, where as I look out the window, I'm getting some of those autumn colors here that I don't see in California. So it's really lovely. And it feels like it has moved from summer to fall overnight. It was like 80 degrees yesterday, and today it's more like, I don't know, maybe 60. So the colors are changing, like you could really feel the seasonal change. And I'm just noticing the kind of like environmental feedback of that, and feeling like how to listen to that also, to what's in process, it's changing in my internal experience. I think I can feel myself getting even, following the seasonal change and getting a little bit quieter inside.
Yeah. Summer has ended last week. The equinox.
Mm-hmm.
The nights are getting longer.
Yeah. And I think in California, I don't think I really do this, but I think it can be easy to fool yourself that it's just one long summer, and never really turn and face into the plants dying and the leaves dropping and all that. And having come from the Midwest, that's something I'm really familiar with, that cyclical change, and the season of, fall and harvest and winter and hibernating, and just feeling how even when I'm not in an environment where that's happening, that my body really knows the cycle of that. And rather than resisting that, how to fully participate with that.
Yeah, and we have received feedback that the timing on our personal death awareness seminar, the 8-week course that we're planning on offering, I don't think it's the time. I think that we're going to postpone it until probably February, early next year. And we want to keep the conversation going. We want to turn this into a podcast, like every other week, coming here live to talk about our activities, these questions that we have that are so valuable, that we've both been, exploring, and for years discovering ways to increase our personal death awareness so that we can feel more fulfilled every day and get really comfortable with completions and feel really celebratory about every time we complete something.
Yeah. I was even thinking that, our willingness to end, this, and to call it complete for now. And then, to really look at the completion of, even though it hasn't started in some ways, but to really say, okay, listening, and rather than trying to give something life support and keeping it going and trying really hard and all of that, to really listen to the cycle of life and death, and to recognize what's going on and to let that go, and to be in the in-between space. I think it says something about our relationship with endings, and also the participation with what's happening. One of my favorite quotes is that peace is full participation. So part of a peaceful death is this full participation with the process, and we're all moving towards that process, whether or not we acknowledge it. And, also full participation with what's going on in the environment, and what's going on within us, and what wants to come through, and what wants to come through with ease, and letting ourselves, participate, and appreciating both of us for how easy we just looked at what was going on and what wasn't going on, and made our choice to postpone, and to kind of like bring this part to a close. And then in the in-between, we're continuing to ask questions and stir the pot and see what arises in the beginning of 2022.
Yeah, I love what, right when you started speaking just now, I had a full body, like, sort it felt like a rush, but like also a sense of like, ah, yes, like
Hmm.
that alignment, that resonance, that yeah, this is what really wants to happen. And
Hmm.
so yeah, I'm curious about other things that I want to happen and where I can create that. Yes. And
Yeah.
you know, is there something that I want to do that I haven't done yet? Is there something that any of you want to do, that if you're listening now, that you haven't done yet? What is it that you would like to complete um, today, or this fall, or before the end of the year?
Hmm. And one of the things I love about the question is, and I think there are different qualities of that question, because I think sometimes people think, what is it I should do? Or what is it I think I should want to do? Or I want to do, but I don't actually want to do. And to be tuning into like, what is it that I genuinely want to do, to complete, before the end of this year, before the end of today, before the end of this week, and not the things that are necessarily on my to-do list, but the things that would um, would curate and cultivate a really fulfilling day or a fulfilling week. And that it's starting in those places that also bring awareness to what it is that I want to complete before the end of this life, of my life.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up. I have a very strong, you know, shoulder. In the past, I have should on myself a lot, and whoops, whoops, try this like exogenous forcing myself to do things, and then realizing like I didn't want to do that at all. Or seeing like, oh, I am not doing this thing. Oh, it's because I didn't really want to.
Hmm.
And being okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah. My favorite is the want to want to.
Yeah.
I want to do it, but when I really try it on, I don't want to do it. And being willing to say, okay, that completion also I love is like, completion happens whenever I decide, whenever I choose. It's not like I have to wait until something has gone all the way through whatever I think it should look like. It's like sometimes I complete, like just now, like our willingness to complete this course even before it's genuinely started with participants, because we started to stir up the questions, like the energetic of it is alive and well, and the inner experience of it is alive and well, and then the expression of it has its own timing, and to be listening for that.
Oh yeah, listening for the timing, listening for the ask from the
Mm-hmm.
universe, the nudge from
Mm-hmm.
all of our clients and friends and people that are interested in hanging out with us.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love that we got that. What we did do is get a bunch of interest. So it's like, okay, hear that. So it's not necessarily the subject matter. Like people are leaning in, and people are already, pretty top. A lot of people are already pretty topped out. And so, listening for the timing, like you said, and for the external and internal feedback for when, expressing this course is going to have its greatest impact,
Yeah.
and stirring the pot in the in between, asking questions, coming on and continuing the conversation for us and for other people who are interested in leaning in and joining us in the beginning of the year.
Yeah. And so if you want to post in comments, or if you're listening to this and want to, you know, complete something, do something before the end of the year or before the end of your life, I invite you to begin a dialogue and
Mm-hmm.
really tune into your own inner guidance system that says, yes, this is really what I want to do, like full
Mm-hmm.
body, yes. And then and
Mm-hmm.
see what happens when you start um, creating completions, doing things that are from that full yes, yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, 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 yes. All right. Well, thank you for meeting me here today, Audrey, and thanks for listening, everyone.
Yeah, I look forward to, we'll be back in a couple weeks, I think, and continue the conversation.
Yeah.
Or start a new conversation.
Yeah.